Intellectual with James Clever. Powerful and provocative. Intellectual, informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Intellectual. Come on, let's talk about it. Angel massage. Let's do it again. Intellectual. With James Clever. Powerful and provocative. Prophetic and practical. Come on in, I'll give some people a chance to come in. Informative and inspirational. Tonight we're going to talk about how you're going to do better if you don't know what better looks like. I do. Come on, share. Let's talk about this, if you will, the mind massage. Trying to get all my stuff together. We'll wait on a few more people to come in, hopefully. Hopefully more people will come in. But this conversation, I'll talk to you in a minute, is stemming from a post I made today on Facebook. I want to get some dialogue. I sent out a few links. Let me try this again. Somebody said they didn't get it. Well, they got it, but it's kicking them out. Private answer. There actually is. Who's the prize? I need answers. Share this with somebody. Share it with a friend, male, female, young, old. Share this stream with someone, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. Share this stream, and I need you. We need to have a conversation. I'm tired of this, and it's time to start trying to put some things in place to better our community. So let me let my music play at least one time, and then we'll get back to this conversation. Is anybody commenting? Okay, cool. Nobody to the comments yet. Share the stream, share the stream. The question is, who's the prize? Who's the prize? Is it the male? Is it the female? Who's the prize? That's what I want to know. Now, hey, Brandy Brewer, how are you? Got my friend back. I thought you had abandoned me and left me. So tonight we're going to have a conversation. Everybody that knows me knows that my number one aspiration goal is to reconcile black males to black females. I want us to build our family because I believe that once we have our familial structure in place, that we are a unbreakable force. I believe that once we produce a united front, that we can stand against all of the isms, whether it be capitalism, whether it be racism, whatever type of thing that has been keeping us apart, or keeping us from getting married, or keeping us from having fruitful relationships. That's my goal. So I'm trying. In order to do that, anytime a surgeon or a doctor tries to correct the situation or perform surgery on somebody, a lot of times he has to do something that's cutting, right? He usually makes an incision so that he can get inside and take out all the infection. And you all have to really, really, really agree with me that we've severely been infected. And a lot of that is as a result of racism, Jim Crow, all of those different things. And it's caused us to be so divided. And in this egalitarian culture that we live in, an egalitarian culture, meaning that we're all into individualism, and we're into capitalism, and we're all into get all you can all you get, because we're defined by the symptoms of success as opposed to the substance of success. And because we don't understand the difference, we think that successfulness is because I have things, or I live in a house, or I have a certain type of job. And then guess what? A lot of us have taken out the whole relationship thing, right? But then you got a whole bunch of women now that say they don't need a man, and you got a bunch of men that think they can play 4, 5, 6, 7 different women, and it's just a bad situation. And so now I think there's become somewhat of a settling mentality, because people say, I don't need nobody. I'm good. Hey, T, how you doing? I'm good alone. I don't need anyone. And it's left us in a bad situation, because guess what? If we get to a point where black men and black women get to the place where they feel like they don't need each other, what's going to happen to the future generations? What's going to happen as far as making babies in the future, and then our children having healthy relationships to look at and model after, and all those types? What's going to happen to the relationships as we know them now? Because our kids go to school now with people that got 2 mommies and 2 daddies. So the relationships have been redefined. And guess what? As long as we keep fighting one another, my question is, how are we ever going to fix our community? So I asked a question today, and really the question had a lot of innuendo. And tonight is going to be a pre-show for what's going to take place on Wednesday night on the Intellectual Stew, on my Wednesday night show. So I wanted to bring some people on. I've already put you need a man, girl, you crazy. Hold on. I need to put that comment up. Show her comment. She said, man, listen, I don't care how far I go or how much I achieve. And you're in Hawaii now, right? Nursing all over the world. Thank you for all that you're doing on the front lines too. But she says, man, listen, I don't care. Ashley, I'm coming for you in a minute. Listen, I don't care how far I go or how much I achieve. I can admit I still absolutely need a man. And guess what, sweetheart? A man absolutely needs you as well. That's just the fact of the matter. You know why? Because we were created one for another. And they knew that. And because they knew that, they started to put things in place that would cause us to be divided. And because and the way they divided us, I don't want to go back into a history lesson. But tonight, this is my question for tonight. Ashley, come on in. I'm gonna ask you, who's the prize tonight? Tell me who's the prize in relationships. When we're talking about the black man and the black woman, who's actually the prize? Are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
I, in essence, feel like you both get a prize whenever you should, in essence,
Okay.
get a prize whenever you enter into a relationship. I've had several conversations with both male and female, and if you think about it, and I know women are probably going to hate me for saying this, but it is
So,
maybe the last time that I did check this ratio may not be um uh all the way correct, but there is it's 1 to 10 women. So a lot of 1 man to every 10 women, or maybe more than that. So a lot of times, if you think about it, when you get a prize, it's something that's exclusive to you. So it may be the other way around, that us women, we're getting a prize instead of the men.
Stay there. And your statistic is right in some areas. In the United States, it's 3 million more black women than it is black men. That's the number. So numerically, you're right. But I like the way that you worded what you said. You said I don't think either or, but you said they're kind of both getting a prize.
Absolutely.
As opposed to one saying that they are the prize.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's a very mature approach. Because you understand, my questions usually have a hook to them.
Oh yeah, I know.
They usually have some type of innuendo, because I don't, and I like to ask questions that don't have a right or wrong answer. I really do. I like to ask questions because that's the intellectual too. I really want to make us think beyond the parameters or the peripheries of what most of us think. Because when I see a lot of posts, because Denise, I really wish you would come on. I got that link because you said something that I thought was so powerful on the post earlier. Denise Cullins, you said something that was so powerful. Because if you look at it, and I respect what you said, Ashley, about you're tired of seeing bashing from both sides. And I agree. Okay, I'm gonna send you. Who's that? Jimmy's there. Okay, good. Denise, I'm about to send you the link again. Yeah, that's
You
my
done
boy.
sent the link to Jimmy.
Oh yeah,
Lord have mercy.
Jimmy, come on. I'm finna bring him on now. All right. What's up, Jimmy?
How you doing, Pastor?
Man, I'm
Hey, big
doing
brother.
good.
Hey,
I'm getting, let
Ashley.
me, hold on, y'all. I'm sending Denise. Jimmy, you heard what I was just saying, right?
Well, brief me so I can make clarity on it.
All right. What was I saying, Ashley? Because I just got.
So basically, Jimmy, he asked the question, who's the prize? I gave my synopsis on, who I felt or who I did not feel was the prize. Basically, I feel like we both are getting a prize. He then also went in to talk about one
Somebody
of
got
the
some
ladies.
feedback. Who was that? Somebody had some feedback. Is that me? Who was that? I don't want it to be too bad on everybody. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep talking, Ashley.
There was another young lady that he was going to bring on that had made a great point on the post earlier. But he also talked about how the comment that I made about not bashing both sides. Jimmy, you've talked about the prize before. And I also told him about the ratio of 1 to 10 women as it relates to male and female. And really, to be honest with you, if you think about it, us women, we may be getting the prize because it's so many more women than it is men.
Right. Well, let me say this first of all. The Bible says that we're both wonderfully and beautifully made.
Okay.
Okay. One is not. You can't see. This has been the issue. And this is not to bash women. This is not to belittle women, but when a lot, not all, a lot of women though have taken on. They've been taught this way that they are the prize and that the man should pursue them as the prize. But the issue has been a lot of times we have not. Now this goes for both male and female. We have not prepared. We claim we want the right person, but we're not prepared to be the prize for the person that we claim we want. You see what I'm saying? And so it has been one-sided.
Hey, if you're not talking, hold on. If Jimmy's the only one talking, the rest of us are gonna press mute. Okay, so we won't have any feedback in the background. Okay, stay there, Ashley. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Yes, sir.
And what I'm saying is it has been put out there as it relates to relationships that the woman has been the only prize. And the woman is the prize. When a man gets the right woman, see, it's not just every woman. You have to prepare. A woman has to be able to have the feminine energy that'll put herself in a position to be the prize. Okay? And so it's not about every woman is the prize. Is her mentality the prize? You can't be the prize if your mentality is not rap tight.
And Jimmy, I agree with that 100%. I really don't see how that can even be debated. And let me say this for everyone that's listening right now and that will listen. This is not a male bashing or a female bashing session.
Not at all.
We're not debating tonight. We're discussing. And this discussion is going to carry over, and we're going to have a whole bunch of these discussions. You know why? Because we've not had these hard conversations. We played into the narrative. I used to hear Charles E. Williams say something. I don't know if y'all heard him say it, but Charles E. Williams used to say we've been lured by satanic suggestion.
Right.
And being lured by satanic suggestion, it causes us to follow every bit of bait that's sent our way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen to this. The Bible says in John 10:10 that the thief cometh but for to steal, kill, and destroy. There's right now, as we speak, as it relates to African American relationships, there's a spirit of division going on through satanic interference. And that's why we can't progress, because people are making people seem, a lot of people think I point the finger. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm pointing to problems that need to be corrected, whether it's male or female. Now, a lot of times people, a lot of folks don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, you want the truth, but you can't handle the truth. And if we're going to be transparent, a person has to take accountability. And until both men and women, it's not just women need to be accountable, men need to be, both of us need to be accountable towards each other in order to progress. But there's a spirit of division through satanic interference, and no one wants to receive correction, but everybody wants to point the finger. And what I'm saying is, in the eyes of God, we are both the prize, male and female, but you have to heal. You have to have feminine energy as a woman. A man has to be responsible as a leader and be faithful. African American men are not faithful. A man has to be faithful to himself before he can be faithful to a woman. And a woman can't change a man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I didn't want to go on no rant, but I'm trying to.
No, it's needed. Talk.
Pastor, I'm trying to make African American men and women understand, until we quit pointing the finger and accept accountability for our own flaws, failures, low self-esteem, don't want to heal, don't want to be until we take accountability, man, we can quit talking about somebody's the prize. Okay?
Absolutely. And
I would like to interject.
hold on right quick for you interject. I'm gonna let you interject. One hot second, okay? Keep the thought right there. Denise is on the call. Denise, stay right there because I'm coming for you. I just put her in.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, Denise. But go ahead. Say what you're gonna say, Ashley.
Oh, I was gonna go back to when I can't remember if it was you or Jimmy that made the statement about the spirit of division as it relates to the African American race amongst male and female. That's why I made the post that the comment that I made earlier on your post about, can we just stop the bashing, period? And let's try to figure out what we need to do for ourselves to make us more I don't want to say appealing or appeasing to the other person, but figure out what it is that we need to do so that we can attract whatever it is that we are, whatever we desire, because it is a division amongst the African American male and female. And if anything can find its way inside of there to be able to creep in, it's gonna cause it. It doesn't matter what it is. At the point where a single father and a single mother are having, doing something so where they are on one accord or with one accord, something will find its way in there to make them be baby daddies and baby mamas, and I hate them and all of this great stuff. Then you go into marriage. If something or someone finds their way in there to be able to cause this division or discord there, then you find yourself with either you are on your way to divorce or thinking about divorce. There's nobody seems to want to be able to try and find the common denominator and eliminate that part so that we can all become the power couples that we say that we want to be, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's a very mature approach. Dang, Denise, I was just going to say something to you. I'm sorry, Denise is about to go. Listen, cause you said this, and Jimmy and I both responded to what you said earlier when you said you wish that both sides would stop the bash. I agree, I do. But I believe that for so long, and Denise was going to attest to this. I might have to go and see if I can find her comment and post it. Can somebody do that if you can, Ashley?
Okay.
Find her comment on. Oh, here she is. I want her to speak for herself. All right, Denise said something. You said it was male bashing, right? But I think it's been so lopsided for so long, and men haven't had a chance to give an intelligent, intellectual response to the bashing. That we've been the victim of point the finger writers, and we're just supposed to take it. You know what I'm saying? And when we don't take it. And Denise, what did you say earlier? Hey, Denise, how you doing?
Like it's trying to load.
I'm muted. I'm unmuted now. Okay. What Denise actually, she's trying one more time. If we can get her, if we're not, we're going to have to do it on our own. Are you there,
Can
Denise?
y'all hear me?
We
Can y'all hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry
All right,
about that.
go ahead.
I'm new to this technology stuff, but I just feel like, and I turned my camera off because I think it may have something to do with it. I just feel like society has just implemented so much negativity into the Black woman against the Black man that
Mhm.
we actually have to start tearing down the barriers, because we're equally jacked up. Like there's responsibility across the board for everybody. But I think Black women don't want the mirror reflected onto them. I think sometimes when the mirror is reflected onto us, we see the ugliness of it and we're not willing to accept it. So it is so easy for us to blame the Black man and to take it off of us, because remember, society has already dogged you. So if we're going to actually start having these it has to be some real hard conversations for the Black man and the Black woman to actually start engaging in, so we could actually tear down the narrative that's been painted against the Black man and the Black woman, when you really want to dissect it. If you're not going to dissect it all, leave it alone. If you're not going to take accountability across the board, leave it alone. We actually have to accept the parts that we play in this matter with one another. So the responsibility is equally shared. So I don't consider myself a prize to my husband. I don't consider my husband a prize to me. We are in a relationship together to grow, to trust each other, to learn from each other. We make mistakes, and we are accountable. I think the accountability piece is what's going to have to be torn down or accepted, because you can't have one blaming the other, which is what I see, whether it's on social media, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's the reality shows. And then we also want to interject ourselves in like the reality shows and kind of have the lives of just so much stuff. It's just so many things, so many variables that comes to play with this topic. So my thing is, if you're going to attack it. And be for real about it. You can't play with it.
But hey, Denise, I appreciate it. Stay here if you can. If you got to go, I understand.
Okay.
But let's keep this conversation going, Jimmy. Jimmy, I know you're adding some good stuff. Denise just said some really good, impactful stuff.
She hit the nail on the head. And see, this is what I'm saying. Just like for me and my show. For an example, if I say women for the longest have been saying, well, men aren't emotionally available. Men don't talk. Men, okay, so now we talking. But now when we talking, now I hate women. I hate Black women. They use what Black women will do, and not all, but what Black women will use sign language when a Black man tries to correct them about the things that we don't like. They'll shame, insult, have the need to be right, or try to make a man feel guilty. It's called sign language, SIGN. And when a man says, well, I'll give you an example. A man can only do what a woman allows. If a man cheats over and over and she takes him back, that's not the man's fault. That's the woman's fault. The woman has lowered the standard. And so the women need to raise the standard. If you stop, men will stop cheating if women stop allowing it. Now, when women will hear that, some women will play the victim. Some women will say, well, men need to not cheat. That's true, but a man gonna do what he want to do. My question to you is, what is it about you that you continue to entertain men that cheat?
Please let me say something. A lot of women have only seen or been around men that cheat, whether that's from their parents, they've seen it in their family, their aunts. So a lot of us have not seen the healthiness of a relationship. So I can't unlearn something that I don't like. I don't know what a healthy relationship is, or I've never seen a healthy relationship. So it's like, it's like you're like a baby being born. You're introducing me to something that I've never seen before, or you're putting something on me, asking me why am I allowing something that this is all I know. So that again is the woman taking on the accountability, saying, okay, what do I need to do to heal myself? What do I need to do? Do I need to step back from relationships so I can see if there's something internally that I need to be working on? So yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question first. I'm coming right to you, Jimmy. Do you find, Denise, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
That woman that you just described that's never seen a healthy relationship, is there an age on that type of woman? Is it a women below 35? Is it women under 45? Or is it women altogether? And then Jimmy, you're going to
I think it's women altogether, because I was raised in a house. My mom had 10 children. She had, I think she had 7 different baby fathers, like, honestly. So the last one was my stepdad that raised all 7 of her. He had 3 children by my mom, but he raised all 10 like we were his. But it was nothing but toxicity. Like, and they got together when I was 4. So I saw toxicity all my life, like all my life, until I was maybe the age of 19, and she decided to leave. But when she left that toxic relationship that she had been in for 16, 17 years, she went into another toxic relationship. So it's across the board, but it was within myself to find something greater. My mom couldn't do it. No one could pull me out of that but myself. So there is no age limit on the things that we've been exposed to. These are what you are, as a child, even as an adult, we're exposed to different things. You actually have to find something within yourself to make it better.
I think I think it kind of goes hand in hand, Miss Denise, also with when we tell males to, that they have these generational curses. So I think it's the same thing, that we have to want to do better in order for it to be better. We don't have to continue the cycles. So we don't have to continue the cycles.
Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have to continue the cycles that we learn from being in a household full of drunkenness, whoreism. We don't have to take on those things. It's easy to say that I am doing this because of this. I feel like that's a excuse to continue to do what it is that you really want to do.
Can I speak? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback on what Ashley is saying, and here's the thing: women have to go internally and heal. No one can do that for you. You don't have any. You were born into whatever. You don't have any. You have no power over what you were born into, but you have the power to heal. And until women go internally and heal and face those ugly things, those toxic, unruly things that they have been exposed to, that's the only way. And I'm gonna say this: there are too many resources, there are too many avenues. People are teaching me. For example, I got 5 steps to show a woman how to heal, but because I'm a man, women don't want to hear it. So that's, to me, it's just like an excuse, because again, you had nothing to do with your family, who you were born into, but you do have your healing. A man is not your physical therapist. A woman has to go internally and take on the healing. She has to go inside and she has to heal those things that have happened to her. No one else can do that. And so until that when it comes to women, that's the only thing that's going to pull women away from repeating the same cycle. Because watch this: the men you choose to entertain are a reflection of your emotional state. Listen to that. I'm going to say that again.
Wow.
The men women choose. See, because it's not who you attract, it's who you choose to entertain. The men women choose to entertain is a reflection of her emotional state. If she entertained lazy, sorry,
Somebody, hold on. Somebody type that and put that in the chat, please.
that's a
Say that one more-
reflection that she
say that
has
one more
low
time. One more time.
self-esteem.
Kim, put that in the chat for me, please.
I'm going to say that again. The men women choose to entertain is a reflection of who she is on the inside. If she entertains lazy, sorry, Eric, that's an indication that she has low self-esteem. Because you don't have to entertain that man in your bedroom. You made a decision to do that. That's not the man's fault. You lied to yourself. You ignored the red flags. You wanted what you wanted. You didn't properly vet the man. You don't know what your core needs are. That's what that means. So until women go internally, they will not be able to choose and entertain the right man. That's all I'm saying.
Ashley, what do you think about that?
I hope.
You know, I listen to Mr. Jimmy, and I'll be the first person to say he has some harsh, and he know I love him to life. He has some harsh way of saying things, but if you sit and think about some of the stuff that he says, and it's coming from a man, because a lot of times we say we want to hear male's perspective, then when they give it to us, we really don't want to hear it. But me and Mr. Jimmy have talked about how just what he said. We allow men to do a lot of things to us that we don't have to. And if you stop, just like he said, entertaining those, they won't entertaining them, they won't continue to do it. I agree totally with him on that. It's tight, but it's right. One of the ladies in the comment said, and I'm not trying to take over your show, Mr. James, but one of the ladies said in the comment, women have to stop saying that that's all I've seen. If you can tell your homegirl her man is foul, you can tell yourself that your own man is foul. And that's a true statement. I mean, we got to stop making the excuses for what it is that, like we said, we want to do. I'll go back to say I was molested when I was growing up. And a lot of people use molestation as a reason to take on certain lifestyles. I don't believe that the stuff that happened to me is what should choose my journey for the rest of my life. A lot of times I don't even remember it happening until someone is having a conversation. And I'm like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. And so I said that to say, we choose what we choose because we feel like it works better for us.
Let me say this, Ashley. You say I don't mean to take over your show. You're not taking over my show. We are having a conversation, and I'm just thankful that I am able to facilitate that conversation because I asked a question on Facebook today. It got a little response, and it was worthy of exploration. And tonight, here we are on a conversation with the Jimmy Hinton, with Ashley, with Denise, and we're getting good raw information. And guess what? If anybody learns anything from this little hour or whatever time we spend together, it's a great day, right? It's a wonderful day. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's a question in the chat. It says, what if the woman has always been expected to be strong? Maybe it's the strength of that particular man that he is her protector. I can comment much on allowing them to cheat because I don't. I can't comment much on that, but I do feel my mate is not a match. So what if the woman has always been expected to be strong? You got to answer that. Okay, we're gonna let Ashley go first, and then we're gonna let Mr.
Okay, so a woman being expected to always be strong. I was her a long time ago, and it took me being able to have a conversation with someone I was dating. He and I don't date, but we learned a whole lot from each other, and it took me listening to him to realize that it's okay to step back when there's someone that comes into your life that actually wants to be the man that you deserve to have. It took me learning from him. It's okay to relinquish that I'm expected to be strong and allow somebody else to take on that. And it helped me out a whole lot. He and I are really great friends. He helped me with that, and it helped me in my relationships after that. So I would say to any woman that has this, I got to be strong, I promise you it's somebody in there that wants to come in and take, and it's not going to happen overnight. But if it's somebody that's willing to be, if you communicate to them, this is all that I know, but I'm willing to relinquish that and allow you to do that, I promise you, the journey will be great.
As John Maxwell said, the test of true strength is when you're willing to give it away. That's the test of true power. I mean, you're not very powerful when you feel like you have to hold everything in your hand because you don't trust anyone. With my children, I trained them to trust them. You know what I'm saying? And because of my training, I trust what they do in life. My daughter is at UGA right now. I bet you she's straight. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I can call her, check on her. And that's kind of what happens. So I get what you're saying. Come on, Jimmy, help us out. And Denise, we're going to let you answer that same question as well.
Okay. First of all, I don't want a strong woman. That's the problem. I want a resilient woman. Black women need to quit being strong. Your hips weren't designed to carry that load. See, this is the problem. Black women are wanting to be something that they can't handle. Quit being strong and be resilient. You are a resilient, beautiful, loving, caring, feminine woman. A feminine woman is not strong. She can relinquish power to a man that she can trust by, watch this, vetting that man. She has to vet a man properly, and then she has to know her core needs. So we don't need Black women to be strong. And I'm gonna go another further. This is the problem. A lot of Black men have seen their single mothers be strong, and now we expect the woman that we entertain to be just like our mother, and that's not it. We expect, soon as we grow up with a single Black woman, we saw everything she went through to get me these shoes, to get me in this school, to help me with this, to help me pay my bills. And then when I get, what you think I'm gonna expect the woman that's gonna be with me? She gotta be like my mama. I'm sick and tired of Black women talking about they so strong. They need to quit being strong. I don't want no strong Black woman. Baby, I need you to be resilient. I need you to be feminine. I need you to be loving. I need you to be caring. That's what we want. We want a resilient Black woman. We don't need the strong is what the strong is doing. It's competition in the house. It's only one man can be strong.
Repeat. Say it again.
Watch this. The Bible talks about how the strong man has to come in and take something. When we got two strong people in the house, it's too much competition. I need my woman to be resilient and feminine. It's not enough Black women that are feminine today. They're too masculine. They didn't get the rites of passage to womanhood to be sensual and sexual and spiritual and loving. And that's what we're missing of Black women. And see that a lot of women hear me say that, and now I'm bashing. But I'm not bashing. I'm telling you what Black men want. We want a Black woman that's loving and caring and resilient. We don't want we sick of Black women talking about they strong. We sick of it.
And sisters, look in the comments. Look what the brothers are saying. Brothers don't never respond on these types of posts. They never respond. But you got fire over there. You got message over there. You got this over there. Because that's what we want. Let me say this. I'm coming right back to you, Jimmy. Give me a second. Then I'm coming to you. Denise, I'm coming to you. Hold on. Now, because understand, what y'all got to realize is that whole mentality of a strong Black woman was planted in slavery. And it was planted to replace and erase the Black man. That was the whole purpose. They said that their purpose was to reverse the nature of Black men and Black women. They said that they wanted her to raise her daughter, watch this, to be psychologically independent. They wanted to raise her son to be physically strong but mentally weak. That's why he's still looking for his mama. I remember one time I remember I was in a Walmart one time, and this little girl, about 21, 22 years old, and she was just pulling her son everywhere and jerking him and hitting him and all this kind of stuff. And I got tired of it. I said, girl, stop doing that baby like that. And she tried to go off on me. Now, that was a mistake. But she tried to go off on me and say, you know what? That's my baby. You don't tell me what to do with my baby. I'm a single mother. Da, da, da. I said, yeah, I hear all that. But you're going to raise him to hate everybody that looks just like you. So when he started going upside her head, it's because he couldn't go upside your head. So learn how to love and nurture him. My ex-wife, I caught her trying to jack my son up against the wall one day when he was about 9 years old. And I said, stop it. Let me get him. She said, why? I said, because he needs a refuge. He needs a hiding place, because when I get in his whatever, he needs somewhere to go. And that was to him. And that's why they have the relationship that they have right now. But you have so many women that have been beaten down and bullying their children. And I mean, I hate to see them with this little deep voice mentality, and they're killing these little boys before they ever had a chance. And Willie Lynch said that by the time he got to 16, he'll be a slave for the rest of his life. And you're wondering why these little boys running around here that ain't growing no more. You medicated them when they were 9 years old, and they've been on dope all their life. And then you wonder why they're dope baby. Come on, man, for real. So we got to figure out, like he said, we don't need you to be strong. We want to be strong together, right? See, and let me drop this one. This is a caveat. This is for free. I'm going to drop this one on you for free. There is no prize. The question is, who's the prize? There is no prize. Neither one of us the prize. The prize is a fruitful, healthy, loving, mutually beneficial relationship between two healed individuals that make each other whole. You compliment me, I compliment you, and we complete one another. That's what the prize is. That's what the prize is. But this egalitarian, this capitalistic society that breeds and promotes competition tells us to be against each other, and one of us, and then we're always practicing point the finger right. I'm sorry, Denise, you want to say something? Let me get you off. Talk to us, Denise, for a little bit. Are you there? Are you there, Denise? You be saying some good stuff too. All right. So here, Anthony said in the comments, love builds together. It takes two. We need each other.
It takes two, baby.
It takes two. Denise, if you're there, say something, please, ma'am, or go out and come back in. But that's what has to happen. We have been divided, and I hear women say that men bash women. They might. I don't see it. Denise said earlier today, women bash men a whole lot more. Most of the memes. Denise, come on, talk to us.
I'm gonna get on y'all side. We the sisters be on it. They, you know.
What you got for us, Denise?
What I do want to say, why Miss Denise is getting on, Mr. James, you made this statement earlier that this is not a women bashing, male bashing thing. Miss one of the ladies in the comment, is this Georgia Peach? Put her comment up there, Mr. Because she said earlier, she didn't think that you were understanding her comment earlier about being a strong woman. And then she also stated that she didn't think that you were understanding her comment. She was all of that and more. When we talked about what a man wants or what he needs.
Georgia Peach, it's a link. Scroll up and get on the link in the comments and come on and you can tell us yourself. So that way I don't,
and Mr. Jimmy also talks about people being healed, and a lot of times I wonder if people know what true healing looks like or where it begins, because a lot of times people think that they are healed and are ready to enter something where they think they are the prize, and when all actuality they're not ready. I'm going to say we're as a people are not ready. when we think that we are. A lot of times, especially in the Black community, we don't seek counseling when we should seek counsel. We should seek counsel for some of these childhood traumas that we have, so that they won't spill over. It's not Ashley shouldn't be suffering for Jimmy's childhood problems. Jimmy should not be suffering for Ashley's childhood traumas. We need to do those individually.
That's
now,
good.
if you want to talk about how you have overcame and all of that great stuff, that's fine. But when you're entering into something, if you want to be pure and made whole, you should seek therapy your own self, and it's perfectly fine. And I think our ancestors have made us think that it's crazy to seek help, when it's crazy to me not to seek help. So just to talk about some of the things that Mr. Jimmy has talked about. You ain't been on in a minute, Jimmy, but some of those things that you talk about as it relates to healing, I think that a lot of more people need to take that advice. And I'm not talking about going to your pastors. I'm talking about seeking actual professional help.
That's good. Go ahead, Jimmy.
That's good, Ashley. Listen, let me say this. All of us need some therapy. I got a therapist. I see my therapist on Thursdays. See, we got too much pride in our race, but we got so many trauma bonds. It's so much trauma bond going on. It's so much low self-esteem and not knowing your worth. And all of that is going on, but don't nobody want to seek help, and don't nobody want to go internal to deal with their trauma that they, but we'll drop the trauma. We sure want somebody that we with to accept the trauma that we've gone through. And that's not fair to the other person, because here's the thing. We have to love each other. And if you don't know what love looks like, you have to receive God's love. Galatians 5:6 says faith works by love. You have to receive God's love in order to be. I can't give you what I don't have. If I have 1 John 4:19 said, we love because he first loved us. Until we receive God's love and get the blueprint on how to love unconditionally, that don't mean you're going to accept something. I'll accept you. If I love you, I'm going to accept you the way you are. But baby, I need you to get better for me. I need to inspire you. I need to love on you, and you need to love on yourself first. A lot of times women, watch this. When men stop loving women, women stop loving themselves. Listen to that. When men stop loving women, women stop loving themselves. Women got to love, black women got to love them. Black women got to erase, they have to change the narrative in their soul. Romans 12:2-3. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Black women and black men too. But black women have to, see, because black women control, whether y'all know it or not, the black queen controls the relationship. The black woman controls the narrative.
I need sound effects.
It's up to the black woman to make the relationship right. If she don't take her proper position as a queen in her behavior and her character, the man is not going to do right. A woman got to have consequences for a man. You cheat on me, I'm done with you. Until the woman has boundaries and barriers and consequences for that man. She got to have some consequences for that man. You can't talk to me like that. No, you can't treat me like that. No, you can't do me like that. The woman got to raise the standard. I need the black woman to grab her bootstraps and love on herself so she can be loved.
You better come on and tell them then.
That's what this is about.
Look,
we leading with everything else and not our vaginas.
Now that's a whole nother stuff. Let me say this right here. Let me say this. That used to be your best shot. You would say that what you just said, vagina, you would say that for the last, and that was the prize. You know what I'm saying? But now you lead with the prize. And if you lead with the prize thinking that that's the bait, You ain't finna catch no cat like me. That ain't even that won't even get my attention at all. And a real man that really is into you, he ain't even get. I love saying finna and all that kind of stuff, y'all. I'm from Arkansas, but he ain't even gonna entertain when you lead with that, because you got to come with something for substance. Understand what I said earlier in the show. There's a difference between the symptoms of success and substance of success. And see, we've been had this little cereal diet for so long, or this ramen noodle diet for so long, that we hadn't got used to what grandmama and them used to put in us. See, grandmama and them had a reason for giving us cornbread and for giving us beans and stuff, because it stuck to our bones. You know, it kept us out of the kitchen at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock trying to get ice cream and donuts and all that stuff, because we had something that literally stuck to our bones. We've been feeding these children TV dinners and ramen noodles and
chicken nuggets and French fries.
And it's metaphoric. What you say?
Chicken nuggets and French fries.
Chicken nuggets, and I hate them. I ain't gonna say no name because I might get sponsored by them one of these days. I was married for 20 years and I was pretty good at it too. But to answer your question, I was married for 20 years. But we've been doing this whole thing, right, and living off of these snacks, and we haven't gotten any substance. And that's why God, thank you, Holy Spirit. See, what happens when you ain't got no substance? That's when the coronavirus can take you over, because you ain't got no immune system. And because you ain't got no immune system, you're lured by every little satanic suggestion that comes your way. So when subliminal suggestion comes your way and it sounds like it might be right, you go after that. And that's this whole narrative that has us fighting against. Let me say, and I'm sure Jimmy will echo it with me, I love black women. I love black women. I promise you I love black women. And I want to see them at their optimal state. And I want to see black men, because we're messed up. But who's raising all the men right now? Jimmy just said something. Who's raising all these boys?
Single women.
Okay, who's raising the next generation?
Single women.
Because if you check the statistics, they say black women are leaving marriages at a more rapid rate than they are getting married. So if that's the case, if they're raising the next generation, then what's going to happen if we don't ever reconcile and get this thing right?
Because 1 in 4, listen to this, statistics say 1 in 4 African-American women will get married. The other 3 subject to buy a dog and die alone. Now that's a sad narrative.
Oh, baby, and they getting these dogs, honey.
Yeah, they buying plenty. They buying plenty dogs. They buying plenty dogs. But
and guess what? They're accepting that narrative. But long before I said this before, long before you said I don't need a man, the government had already told you that you don't need a man. Because they said if you don't take care of your baby, we'll take care of your baby. Just don't let that Negro in the house. Don't you know what that was? Hold on, here I come. I'm coming for you. No, I know you want to say it. We're gonna do this more often, Jimmy. We gotta do this once a week or something, Jimmy, for real.
Listen to me. I'm gonna say this, and it's one word. It's only one word right now that got us totally divided. Independent. That one word that black women, I'm independent. That baby, you are ensnared by the words of your mouth. That word right there means you are separated from a man.
I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about that earlier.
Listen to me. A woman, let me tell you, and I made a post the other day. A lot of black women's mothers have ruined their daughters' chances because they taught them independence without teaching them interdependence. Mm-hmm. That means you have to be a masculine man. He wants a woman that's interdependent. That man wants you independent within the relationship. That man wants you to have your own money. That man wants you to have your own car. That man wants you to have your own thinking. That man wants you to have your own life. That man wants you to have whatever you want. That man going to invest in you. A real man is going to invest in you. This is what this is. And see that word independent, that's what happened with the Moynihan report in the 60s when the government gave a check because the black men were going back to the factories and they said, well, we'll give y'all a little check until y'all get it right. The black women took the check and put the black man out. The government couldn't understand. Well, wait a minute. What? the chick was supposed to give y'all a little stability, and y'all done put the black man out because y'all want the chick, and wanted to ride with the white women with this feminist movement, and black women wasn't even included on it. So all of a sudden now, every black woman hollering, I'm independent. Baby, your mindset won't even let you get married. My God.
Boy, my God.
We don't want you independent. We want you interdependent. That means, baby, we want you independent within the relationship. We don't want to control you. We want you to be your best self. We want to inspire you. We want you to do everything, baby. We want to invest in you. A real man gonna love on you, and baby, you can have all the money I got. All I need you to do is be an inspiration to me for me to go get some more money. You can have everything I got, baby. Just be feminine. Just be resilient. Just be resourceful. Just inspire me to go get some more money. Because, baby, the woman that comes to a man want nothing, that man gonna give you everything.
Everything.
And Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you something. That whole thought you just said with a real man, that's innate. That's innate. I mean, that's just it's kind of like it's just an instinct that kicks in when he gets in a relationship. When I first got in a relationship, man, first thing I did, and you called me crazy, but first thing I did was do a joint checking account. You know what I'm saying? We did our little joint check account, and both of us was cool putting our money in both check accounts. And it wasn't his money and her money; it was our money, man. And we paid the bills first, and whatever was left over, we did what we had to do with that. But it was all about, I want to do what I can. I mean, I remember even with her credit cards and whatnot, when we would get our little tax refund check or whatever, man, I'd be like, hey, knock that credit card out, knock that credit card out, because if my credit ever gets messed up, I need to make sure your credit is straight. I tried my best to put them in the best position, even when at the sacrifice or the detriment of me. I would embarrass myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it like this. You couldn't talk to my son in public unless you talk to me first. You couldn't talk to my family in public unless you talk to me first. Because guess what? You might be telling them something different than I'm telling them. And if you're telling them something different than I'm telling them, then that means you're going against my teaching. And if you're going against, and understand this, because men think from a different place, and that's okay. But I'm gonna give you an example. When we teach our sons to use the bathroom, we teach them to stand up in front of the pot and aim for the spot. You just tell them to get it done. But it's something strategic right there, because guess what? I saw a dude on a post of a grown man with a girl had said something negative about her boyfriend using tinkling on the seat or whatever. And do you know this grown man said something like, we're telling him to sit down. What grown man sit down to pee? Not a real one. And that's what 50 Cent said. You look like the kind of man that sit down. But I'm telling you, it's a difference. And that's the strategic part of a man. And that's okay, because we are different. And that's I want you to be feminine. I need you to be the missing part. You know, she said, what the H? Yeah, that's something totally different. I'm sorry. You had to catch all of the metaphorical aspects of that. But listen, it's 10:58. I've had y'all on this call for 58 minutes. It has been a very, very, very good discussion. I think, I mean, I could talk for another hour, but I don't know if y'all ready to go?
I'm good.
Y'all want to talk some more?
Because, you know, it's 10 my time, so I'm good.
I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good with that. So yeah, if look, we still got 15 people in the chat, so let's go back and let's go back and kind of retract some of the points that we hit earlier tonight. For instance, and understand this right here. Who's the prize? Answer that for me, Ashley. Who's the prize?
None of us are. We all are the prize.
Okay. Because the prize is what? A fruitful relationship.
It's a fruitful relationship. But that's what we said in the beginning.
Yep.
Nobody is.
But I had an issue with, because when I put the post on Facebook, then I had somebody come on and say, we need to get a woman's perspective. Because here it is, Jimmy, the natural competition side of an independent, strong woman. Understand, there's a difference of being strong and being aggressive. I know a lot of women that operate from a silent strength. My grandmama would pray it on you. She might not say a word to you, but she'll talk to God about it because she had a telephone in her bosom. and she could dial up. She can call him on the main line and tell him what she wanted. But we don't have that type of person now. You got people that want to challenge the opposite sex. I don't argue with women. Jimmy, do you argue with women?
happens. It happens a lot on a lot of these. We talk about in the successful singles group how a lot of times some of the men don't respond because everything turns into a debate and not a dialogue. We don't have to debate our points. We can agree to disagree and move on. But a lot of times, and again, this is coming from a female perspective, a lot of times the men are so attacked, it's almost like they can't have their own opinion some dang on time. So it's like, well, you don't want to listen to what I got to say. No way, there's no need for me to comment. And so a lot of times women, we get a little irritated because men don't participate in certain things. And a lot of times it's why I receive a lot of inbox from males about different things that happen or different comments. And it's almost like, why are the women so confrontational? Why they so aggressive? Or why we can't have our own opinion? I mean, we're allowed to be able to say, do, and move how we want, but as soon as a man decides, oh, today I'm gonna comment on this, it's like, where the hell did you come from? And who told you to respond to this post? So we just kind of got to try to have more healthy dialogue so that we can both learn each other. I feel like we have kind of lost our way as it relates to finding out about y'all men, y'all paying attention. We just doing our own thing.
Well, that's great.
Here's the question. And this is going to be the question. Jimmy, you're next. This is going to be the question. We're going to discuss this about the next 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to start to get out of here. Okay, so we've heard, like I told you, my process is, I believe that the reason why doctors, when they do surgery, they usually perform an incision, right? And they usually put an antiseptic or something inside that's going to try to clear out the infection or whatever's wrong, right? So I believe what you do, kind of what I'm starting to do, is the cutting part. I believe that's the part that's going to create the incision in our community. To at least, that's why I call mine the intellectual stew, because I just want to make you think. That's why I don't ask yes or no questions. I ask questions that would maybe give you a small essay or something like that, but it makes you think. Jesse, I keep calling you Jimmy. My uncle name's Jesse. We call him Jimmy. Does the same thing, but Jimmy shocks you. But in order to shift the culture, you got to shock the culture. So I believe he gets your attention with the emojis, with the all caps, with the straightened messages. But he's an internet prophet, if you will, that's called to tear down, to destroy, to break up fallow ground. He's doing some very spiritual things that if you're not in tune, you're going to miss everything he's doing. So, and then you got Ashley, who's a young woman who's well wise beyond her years, and will share her experiences, and she's willing to learn. And I think that's something that's good, that she's willing to learn. But here's the question, because we got our three perspectives. And what do you think, Jimmy, first of all, and Ashley, you're going to go next. What do you think it's going to take to begin the process of healing and providing a firm foundation for our community? And I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to let you talk.
First of all, we have to be able to go in and deal with ourselves. I have to heal before I can expect someone else and tell someone else what they need to do. That's the first thing. First things are first. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. And until we go inside, a lot of people don't want to go inside because it's dark and ugly in there. We got to take accountability. The African-American man let me say this. Black men got to stop cheating. The Bible, watch this. The Bible says he who loves his wife loves himself. Now watch this. That means I got to love me more than I love my wife in order to love her right. Because I'm not going to be faithful to no woman if I'm not faithful to me to keep my penis in my pants. What good is it for me to talk about I need a woman to be faithful, and here it is, I can't even control my flesh. See, I got to deal with me first. Don't nobody want to deal with themselves, but everybody want the right person, but you don't want to be the right person for the person that you claim you want. So that's the first thing. We have to go internal. We have to accept accountability next. You have to be willing to say, you know what you have to do? You have to do what the Lord say. You have to come to the end of yourself. You have to admit you a mess in a dress. You got to admit you a fool that went to school as a man. Men got too much pride and ego. Okay? A lot of pride and ego is in the way. Men think you got to have a lot of women to be a man. We were taught that. And the biggest problem, and I'm going to say it, you know where we really missed the mark? Church leaders. Don't nobody want to be real in the pulpit. They want to candy coat it. And then when they hear me, all of a sudden, I'm a martyr. I'm against the church. Now, I'm against religion. I'm against a religious leader that won't stand up in the church and be a real faithful man. You want to talk about how faithful somebody is, but you bent over in the church after service. You got 1,000 women after the sermon. You won't preach what God have you to preach, which is reality. We preach, they won't even be relevant. We talking about Jesus in Samaria. What about Joseph in the house? Right now, not being faithful to that woman that has given everything. She's given up everything. She's given that man kids. She's giving that man her love. She's giving that man her respect. She's giving that man submission, and that man still cheating. A damn fool. This is the problem that we got, and won't nobody call it out. I'm going to call you out, but religious leaders won't call what it is. And this is the problem that I got. I'm not against the kingdom of God. I'm against the church with the four walls, with that foolishness of religiosity. That's where it is. We all go to church. Guess what? If every black person known to go to church, guess what the first line of defense in teaching real men how to be men? In the church. But we got too many false teachers. All they want is your tithe and hoop and holler and make you feel good. That ain't nothing if you're going to go back and be a hoe. It don't make sense. Man, I'm telling you, until we accept accountability, until we come to the end of ourselves, until we're able to be humble and accept our flaws as male and female. Men make mistakes, women make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. Until we do that, and until the church takes accountability in the pulpit, it's going to keep going the way it's going.
And what Jimmy just said is a very powerful statement. But see, some of y'all, all y'all heard was the negativity about the church. You didn't hear the message in that because you started laughing and doing all that, making them other emoticons and all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of depth to what he said. He's saying don't follow man because, number one, man will let you down, first of all. And secondly, he said ain't nothing wrong with church, it's something wrong with religion and those who are in bad people were in the Bible. Some of y'all ain't never studied it, but go study it. There were a whole bunch of leaders in the Bible who were wrong, who did the wrong thing. And guess who punished them? Tell me who punished them, please. One up. God punished them. You can't punish them. And that's why you end up in trouble, because you try to do the job that God does. Let God be the one who does what he does. But Jimmy is 100% right. Number one, we have to accept accountability. Number two, and I'll say it myself, black men need to stop cheating. We got to start taking care of our families, being good examples for the young men that are behind us. Y'all hear me talk about egalitarian culture. That's Western culture. We come from Eastern culture. Our roots are rooted in Eastern culture. We're communal people. That's why we couldn't get a divorce without Big Mama and them knowing about it. Because the elders would sit us down and have a conversation and tell us how to be married. We ain't got that no more because y'all don't want nobody in y'all's business. That's why you need counseling. I get it. Come on, Ashley. Give us your answer. What's it going to take to fix our community? Then I'll close us out tonight. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I unmuted you. There you go.
Well, Mr. Jimmy, as always, dropped the mic on that. It really ain't a whole bunch more to be said. One of the first things that he did say that I would definitely piggyback on from the female perspective is accountability. We can't keep on blaming somebody else for the things that we are going through or that are happening in our lives because we've become or fell victim to certain things or people. one of the things, Mr. Jimmy, that you just, not Mr. Jimmy, James, that you just mentioned is about how people need to be more transparent. You just talked about the reason why people are getting divorces because people don't want to have conversations about it. I, being a young woman, think that it's false advertisement when people are older that say that they have been married 30, 40 years and it's been a walk in the park every day. That's a lie. It's a lie, and it sets us all up for failure, I say, because when the tough gets going, or the rough gets going, to have whatever the statement is, we automatically want to run. There's no fight. We will fight for certain things that have no value or no weight more than we will fight to. I'm not saying stay in things, but we will fight more for those other things than we will for our mates, and that's both male and female. But I do think, number one, we need to take accountability for our own actions. We need to stop blaming others, find out what the root of the problem is, and start there so that you can heal not only for yourself, for your children, and for whatever other generational curse that has plagued your family, and be the beginning to the change. If don't nobody else want to do it, then you should want to do it for your own self. You should get tired of repeating the same exact cycle when you see it. I mean, it's stupid to look at that. And I'm not trying to talk about nobody, call them stupid, but it's crazy to keep looking at somebody suffering from something that you're suffering and not want to do something different than what they're doing. It's almost like I'm driving a what is it? Kia used to be a bad car back in the day. And I see that your car is breaking down and you having all kinds of problems out of it, but I'm gonna go get one of them too. That's stupid. Do something different. As far as anything else, Mr. Jimmy talked about the church. I do believe that people do go to church for status. A lot of people are not going to actually hear the word, understand the word, and then be able to seek great counsel from there. Sometimes you need to remove yourself from the popular church and actually go somewhere where your spirit and soul is going to be fed. And you also need to make sure that you are seeking the Lord for yourself. You can't go to heaven after a while, you stop going to heaven on your mama's, grandma's, big mamas, and all of those people's prayer. You have to study for your own self to make sure that you have a clear understanding so that when these people do come and try to feed you all of that bull, you can go ahead and we argue about a whole lot of stuff. And I'm not saying to argue the Bible, but go ahead and denounce that stuff. That's all I have.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be up all night tonight because my heart is so full and I'm amped by this conversation. Because if this is the first of many conversations, I really believe that these numbers will quadruple, double, quadruple, everything, and then more people will get on, and the more people that are exposed, because we can only become the effects of what we're exposed to and what we embrace. And most of us are never exposed to really the right thing, so we can't become the effects of it. So therefore, we can't embrace it. And I think that once we are exposed to more positive, healthy conversation, because there's some healthy conversations even in the chat going on. My sister Kimberly Fox Stepp, she lives there in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She can share so much with this conversation, because eventually we're gonna get into things like entrepreneurship for Black people, because we're in a different time right now. It's things that are different, and my sister, she does does a bunch of different good things. Ashley's a business owner. All of us have different gifts that we bring, and I want to highlight those gifts. But before that, I want to break up this fallow ground. Let's till this soil really, really good. And once we get the rocks and we get the weeds out of it, and it's gonna take some work, man. I want to get in here. I don't want to argue, but I love when I get off this call and I get inboxes from people that are crying, telling me that they've been struggling in their relationships and they're trying to ask me what they can do different. I love those types of texts and those types of calls, and I want those to continue. And that lets me know that what we're doing is the right thing. Jimmy, I appreciate you, man, for coming on. I mean, I might have to shoot you a cash app or something, because you came on and you did the right thing. You enjoyed this. I mean, you did, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But my answer to that question, and I'm getting ready to get off now. But my answer to that question is, in order for there to be, for us to really, really heal, is it's going to have to be reconciliation between the black man and the black female. Once we reconcile, and I'm going to start now. Jimmy, you might even want to echo.
That's
I'm
good.
sorry. Whatever we did, I know I messed up in my marriage. I know what mistakes I made. I've owned up to every one of those mistakes, all those types of things, right? Because I know I did. So that starts with us really reconciling and saying I'm sorry and meaning it, and then not. And then there you go, Kim. Once sisters, once we say we're sorry, you got to forgive us. And then once you forgive us, then we're gonna learn how to say. Because like Jimmy said earlier, we learn how to love from y'all. Mama give it to us, but then we turn around and we give it to the rest of the family, and we give it to you a whole different way. That's our job. That's why you don't see most of us in corporate America, because we're creators. We're creators. Come on, Jimmy, give us our closing words, and then we, like I said, this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you everybody for joining in. We'll do this randomly, man. If y'all want to start doing this on a more consistent basis, let's talk about this, and we can see what we can do, maybe to do it some more. But Jimmy, close us out, please, sir.
Before you close out, Mr. Jimmy, Mr. Anthony made a great point about this pulpit being afraid to preach. That is so true. It's a lot of topics that preachers shy away from because they want to keep their dollar in the church. And then you got all of these souls on your hand, the blood on your hand, because you failed to deliver the message that God told you to give. So just wanted to pinpoint that. Go ahead. Sorry.
And that's so true, Ashley. We just got to be transparent. Like Pastor Kirkland just said, Jesus said himself that he brought a ministry of reconciliation. He reconciled the world unto himself. That's what this is about. Men have to start loving themselves right in order to love a woman. A woman has to love herself. The most important thing a woman can do is heal. She has to go within herself and love herself by receiving God's love. I have steps. I teach that. You have to receive. Watch this. Faith works by love. Galatians 5:6. That means my faith can only work by the knowledge that God loves me. Once I receive God's love, then I can love myself, and then I can receive good love. It's God's love, self-love, good love. And the woman is the key. The woman, the black woman, is so beautiful. There's nothing like a black woman. When the right woman comes into a man's life, that man will go head over heels. It ain't nothing the man won't do for that woman. If we can just get the black woman to see, baby, love yourself. We know you've been hurt. We know you've been dogged. We know you've been cheated on. But baby, that's not an excuse for you not to be your best self. When you love yourself, you'll put boundaries and you'll have consequences for a man, and you'll know your worth. That'll make that, and you'll run off the wrong man and attract the right man. This is a ministry of reconciliation. We have to forgive ourselves and then be able to forgive each other and take accountability and be willing to let somebody love us. That's the only thing, like Pastor said. We're in a ministry of reconciliation. We got to reconcile with each other. It's enough of bashing and talking about what somebody's not doing. I just want women, I just want black women to know, baby, we love y'all so much. And if you love yourself, you'll be able to receive love from the right man. The black woman, baby, you are in control of the universe. You will make a black man get right with that feminine energy. But baby, until you love yourself, you're not lovable. That's all I want you to know. How can a man love you when you're not lovable to yourself, baby? So I just want every black woman to know, baby, you the piece and the prize, whether you know it or not, to the puzzle. And we want you to love you.
Are you still there? Did you mute you out, Jimmy?
No, I'm still.
Okay, good. All right, good. Listen, we are a great conversation tonight. We're gonna leave it out. We're gonna leave for those that want to continue the conversation. Jay Edwards and I will be talking on Wednesday night. It won't be this format. We're on YouTube at Disco 100 Radio, but we'll be there on Wednesday night. And then, so we're going to continue this discussion. We'll probably hit it from a little bit of a different angle. And then hopefully, y'all check y'all schedule, man. Let me know if y'all can get back on next Monday night. Y'all let me know.
Whenever you listen, Pastor, whenever you need me, man, it's my fiduciary duty to submit myself to you. Whatever we need to do to get this right, because man, the black woman is the most important thing on earth, and we need that. We need that woman.
And boy, if we can get that, if we could just get that influence right.
We just need
that, they got so much influence. If we can just get that influence channeled in the right direction, bro.
Her healed and whole.
Yes, sir. Hey, next week at 10 o'clock, we're gonna do it again. Next week at 10 o'clock. Same time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna do it at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we'll probably be on. Was it 9 o'clock? Is that what time we did tonight?
Yes.
We started at 9. We started at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
It was 9 our time.
Okay, yeah, we've been on an hour and 21 minutes. Okay, that's good. So,
I'm just want to say this. I've been off for about 5 months. My father passed, so
wow.
In time off, and so I should be. The Holy Spirit is pulling on me, and He's telling me, it's about time for me to get back to the show. So I should be on about another month. So y'all be looking for me. Keep It Real Ministries. I'm Evangelist Jimmy, and be looking for me.
He comes. What days do you come on normally? He's gone. Okay, he's gone.
Come
All
on.
right, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
He's still on there. I think his phone just went blacked out or something.
What day did you come on?
I know he had a show on. I think he's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
But either way, I don't think he'll start by next week. So if he hadn't started
No.
he'll tell us. But yeah, y'all support Jimmy. He has a very creative and unique ministry.
Very unorthodox, but it's
very
good.
Unorthodox, and he'll upset you, but he meant to, And but that's
he stopped provoking.
Yeah. Okay, there he is. There he is. He came back and left back out. So that's what we're going. And let's pray for Jimmy because he's still dealing with the death of his father. So we're gonna definitely be praying for Jimmy. So hey, we got a little team right here. We got Ashley, we got Jimmy, and we got James. So we got y'all. See, I said my name last too. I don't have to be first all the time. But listen, I've enjoyed y'all for real. Share this stream. Let y'all. Hey, I think it's a lot that can be learned from this conversation. Kim, because you've seen real men in your life. That's a difference. A lot of women have not seen real men in their life. You got to understand. We'll get into that when we start breaking down Jim Crow and all those types of things in the coming weeks. But we got to keep talking about who's the prize. Ain't neither one of us the prize. The prize is a fruitful relationship. And the only way you can be in a good, fruitful relationship is you got to be whole and you got to be healed. And that's what we are. We're on the path to better, right? So here's the question, and I'm out of here, and I'll see y'all Wednesday night and again on next week.
Do you still have shirts left?
The world is changing. The world is changing. Question is, why do you remain the same? See y'all later. See y'all next week.
Mr. James, do you still have T-shirts left?
I have a few, and I'm ordering more soon. Who needs some? You need one?
Just make sure you put those out there.
I got them. Y'all, for those that haven't seen my on the path to better T-shirts, you will.
Yes.
I'm trying to grow slow. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I used to need it now.
I know you moving slow. I'm gonna take you real fast.
I still hoop, Jimmy. Don't be mad.
You moving slow. I gotta keep you. Listen, we on the path to better. We're gonna get them shirts out there. I got me one, and it's not the woman trying to take over. It's the woman trying to help you.
I'm not
add value to you.
Listen, a real man is not intimidated by a woman who's trying to take over because you know why? He knows she can't.
Yeah.
I want you to facilitate. Handle that business, all right?
Yeah. So get y'all a shirt on the path to better.
On the path to better. I love every last one of y'all. Share this stream, and we'll talk again on next week at 10 o'clock. Ashley and Jimmy, we'll be talking soon. We got to put together a plan. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all.
All right.
Bye-bye. This is great.